In this video, we're going to talk about all things Walt Disney World's reopening and include details on all 4 parks on what the reopening schedules will look like and what are the new guidelines that everyone will have to follow during these phased reopenings of the Walt Disney World Resort parks. Be sure to hit that like button if you like the video. Also, be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed so that way you can see all the Disney videos that we post. On top of that, hit your post notification bell so you know exactly when we're posting videos, and we post them pretty often. But enough of that, let's go ahead and jump into this video. As most of you already know, is that Walt Disney World Resort is reopening all 4 of its parks, and that Disney Springs has already opened, along with the hotels that are starting to reopen as well. This is super exciting news, and we are so stoked to get back into the parks. But I will say that not all 4 parks are opening on the same date. They are going to be spread out during this phased reopening of the Walt Disney World Resort. Saturday, July 11th, 2020 is when the Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom will reopen, and Wednesday, July 15th, following that Saturday that those 2 parks will be opening, will be the reopening of Hollywood Studios and Epcot. Now, I will say, before reopening to the public on those days, the parks are going to have several soft openings prior to those openings for cast members and for other family members that will be allowed to go into the park beforehand, before opening to all guests, so that way they can really nail down and pin down all of the new restrictions, all of the new guidelines, and kind of perfect them before they allow us, the guests, to go into the park. Now, the only way you're going to be able to get into the park is through making a reservation. Disney's making all guests make reservations prior to entering the park. If you do not have a reservation, then you will not be admitted into the park. Now, talking about once you're in the park. Now, of course, there are going to be changes. There's going to be things that are going to be in place, guidelines, restrictions that are there for your safety and the cast member's safety, and these go for both cast member and for guests. Now, these policies are going to be enhanced protective measures, physical distancing, enhanced cleaning and sanitation, temperature health checks and screenings before you enter the park to make sure that you do not have a fever. If you have a fever, you're not going to be able to get into the park. Again, that goes for both cast members and for guests. And limited contact enhancements, such as when you're paying for something, there's going to be protective dividers between you and the cashier. On top of that, there's going to be cashless transactions, so that way no one is being touched, or so that way things aren't being touched as much. So that'll be like with Apple Pay or things like that. Also, on top of that, within the park, Disney will be temporarily suspending parades, fireworks, and other events, shows, so that way they can better control the crowd and also be able to enforce the social distancing a lot better. On top of that, there's also going to be no meet and greets with the characters or playground activities. Masks will need to be worn in the park at all times except for when you're eating. With that being said, there are also going to be relaxation zones around the property where you can go and you will have sufficient distance between guests, so that way you can take your mask off, breathe a little bit, take a break from wearing the mask, but then put it back on once you go back into the park. No exceptions within the park, except again for eating or the relaxation zones. Now, there's still a big unknown, and that is going to be the park capacity. What we do know is that Bob Chapek did say that week by week, as the parks are open, Disney will increase capacity to the parks. Now, I have heard a rumor swirling around that Disney will increase the capacity for the parks by 20% each time they increase capacity of guests that will be allowed within the parks. So that is one thing that I have heard, one rumor that's been swirling around. But at this moment right now, that is all that I have in this video. If you have any questions or concerns, be sure to leave it in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to leave a big like and thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you know when we post new videos, so that way we can reach more Disney fans. Have a magical day.